It's time for From the Short Grass with Trey Schaap, a golf podcast for those who love golf, struggle with golf, and just like to enjoy the outdoors and fellowship with friends, all while chasing a ball around trying to put it in a 4.25-inch diameter hole. From the Short Grass is brought to you by Stevens Incorporated, an independent financial services firm with the freedom to focus on what matters most. Blackman Auctions. For over 80 years, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. We partner with you to deliver high-yield results by managing, developing, and investing in top-quality hospitality assets. And now, from the Short Grass, here is your host, Trey Schaap.
Welcome to another edition of From the Short Grass. I am your host, Trey Schaap. We are going to get right to it today. I've got an interview with Buck James, head football coach of the Bryant Hornets. They just won their 5th state championship in a row. Yes, 5 straight state championships. It's coming up right after this. Before we head to the break, I need to tell you about Blackman Auctions. Since 1938, better auctions have always been Blackman Auctions. Find them on the web, blackmanauctions.com. We're back after this.
With all the decisions you need to make about what to do in El Dorado, finding a place to stay is an easy one. The Haywood is uniquely positioned to make your stay one to treasure. Located in the historic Union Square district of El Dorado, the Haywood offers luxurious accommodations that feature contemporary, colorful rooms with high-quality bedding, comfortable baths with walk-in showers, and a spacious workspace with stylish plantation shutters that are unique additions to the stunning decor in a non-smoking environment. Make the Haywood your home away from home the next time you visit El Dorado.
This is Thomas Blackman of Blackman Auctions. You all know by now I'm not a good golfer, but my son loves the game and he and I have been playing more. I've got my score down to, I've quit playing a scramble on every hole. I'm using the bunker rake much less than I used to, and a lot of the time I hit my drives past the women's tee box. All of my success in golf can directly be tied to me listening to From the Short Grass. Without it, I would not be the golfer I am today. Trey, you owe me $20 for that. Trey knows golf, I know auctions. Come see us at blackmanauctions.com. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
Strength is measured not by the number of accounts. Strength is placing value on relationships. It's having the vision and the guts to invest in growth. It's the commitment to responsibly manage your money. At Stevens, we believe that our strengths build success, not only for us, but for our clients. Stevens, member NYSE, SIPC. Welcome back to From the Short Grass. On the tee, Buck James.
Buck James, head coach of the Bryant Hornets. Thanks for joining me on From the Short Grass. Congratulations, 5 state championships in a row. Never been done in the state of Arkansas until now.
It's an amazing feat. I shake my head a lot of times about what we've been able to accomplish, but it's because we have great kids. You know, they let us coach them. We got coaches who work tirelessly to do their job, and I've been blessed. I'm just a piece of this puzzle that makes it work, and our kids and coaches, our administration, and mostly our parents. Our parents allow us to coach these kids, and that doesn't happen every day in America now, where a guy can come home and have a bad day at practice, and mom and dad aren't calling the coach. They come out here and they let us coach them. They tell them pull it up by their bootstraps and go back to work and do your job and do it the best you can. And coach has got your best interest at mind, and I think it's a good combination right now.
You left Camden Fairview, went to Little Rock Christian, and then here to Bryant. Take me through that process. College coaches, we know they move around a lot. High school coaches, we don't seem to think that they move around a lot, but in reality, they kind of do a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, I think it was more, it wasn't a coaching decision as much as anything, because I was going to Little Rock Christian to be an assistant coach, and it was more for my family. My wife is from Camden. She was raised in Camden and been there her whole life, and we had 4 kids that were going to school there, and we had one that was fixing to go to Missouri State and play football, and that's a heck of a commute from Camden. So we were trying to get a little bit further north to where we could get to his ball games and stuff. And we had some things with our daughter that we wanted to try to improve for her, and it was just a good move for our family. And it wasn't anything against the kids at Camden or the coaching at Camden. It was more of a family move and getting our family a better opportunity to be successful in what we were trying to do, get us closer to Missouri State, Springfield, Missouri for our son. And it was a great move. I mean, it turns out that, if I don't go there, I don't think I can do as well as I do here or I have done here. And I think it's an opportunity that gave us an opportunity to be able to try to change our lives, change our culture and where we're at. And it's been a good move for us.
You said earlier that the parents let you coach the kids. What is it about Bryant Hornet football that has allowed you to do what you've done? I mean, 56 straight wins inside the state of Arkansas. You've beaten every 7A school, the highest classification in your time here. You just don't lose games inside the state of Arkansas. Is there something in the water down here?
Well, it's a blue-collar community. I mean, if you drive the highways of I-30, you understand. I mean, people live in Bryant and Benton because they want to live here, because it's not because the commute to Little Rock is easy or anything like that. And it's a great community. It's a tough, hard-nosed community, and parents here are got their kids here for a reason. They want them to be involved in sports and activities, and I think that's why people drive in that kind of traffic is for their kids. And people don't move for math, English, science, and social studies. They want them to be safe. They want them to have opportunity to be involved in activities. They want them to be involved in sports. They want good school, good culture, and they get that here at Bryant. And I think that's, the metaphor of why we can do what we do is because parents want their kids to be successful. And still in America today, you have to roll your sleeves up. You have to work for it. You have to earn it. You have to do the things it takes to be successful on and off the field. And there's a lot of sacrifice made by these parents. There's a lot of sacrifice made by these kids to come out here and do it the old-fashioned way, actually sweat and hard work and determination, letting guys get coached and going out there and falling down on your britches every once in a while and being able to pull yourself up and be able to dust yourself off and go back to work.
High school football in the state of Arkansas. Is it good that there's a team like Bryant that's dominant, or is it bad for high school football?
Well, it's good for Bryant. I will speak for that. But you want parity. You want every game to be competitive. I think Cabot and Conway have done a tremendous job. They've really improved the football levels there. I think Coach Fimple and Coach Reed have done a tremendous job. I think the football's better in this league now than it was when I got here. I think the 7A West is a little bit different. They split the schools, but, people want to talk about, well, Bryant hadn't split and, North Little Rock hadn't split, and Conway hadn't split, but we're all the same size. We're still about the 5th or 6th, 7th largest school in the state of Arkansas. So all those schools were double our size at one point or another. And so we're still not bigger than any of those schools, but they definitely, you look at Fayetteville and, they're a single school, and it hasn't changed a whole lot for them per se for wins and losses over the last few years. But I think it's the parity of 7A football is better than it's ever been. I don't think the West is probably as good as they were when there was just one Bentonville and just one Springdale. But I don't know if they were better than what the football is now as well. So the coaching is so much better. The facilities are so much better. And, the football is at a much higher level now than it was even 7 to 10 years ago.
Last football question, then we'll turn to golf because that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I know you love the game. Is this your last stop in coaching?
Well, I hope so. I don't really know. I have an 8th grader, and he's a football player, and he loves the game. And I want to stick it out for him and to do what he does. But this is my 35th year. I've been coaching a long time, and I'm a day-to-day guy as much as I am a year-to-year guy. But I enjoy coaching. I love being around the coaches. I love being around the kids. It keeps you young at heart. The kids are the reason I'm in it now. But the grind that it takes to be a football coach. I mean, the 5:30 a.m. to 9, 10, 11 o'clock every night is a tremendous grind, and it's something that I have to look at from day to day, if not week to week and year to year. But it's a grind to be a high school football coach. People don't understand the hours it takes to play a 2-hour game, but my plan is to finish here. It might be that someday I might just go to a little bitty school and coach offense, defense, and special teams and drive the bus. It might get to that again. But big football brings a lot of opportunities, but it also brings a lot of heartache. There's just so many moving parts. This is like a small college. Just for us to get on the bus is a tremendous feat, and what it takes to carry 150 kids to a ball game and feed them and get them dressed and get them undressed and get them back is a tremendous feat. And just trying to make everybody where they have the ability to be successful and be able to play and develop those kids is a tremendous feat as well. And I like the part of doing that, but also it wears me down. And after 35 years. It's a thing that you have to look at and say, do I have the energy? Am I going to be able to bring enough for the team? And, my last 5 years have been my best 5 years. So, it's something that I'm enjoy doing, something I don't think about a whole lot. It's just something that, is in the background for sure.
When did you first pick up a golf club? Do you remember?
I do. I tooled around a little bit with it in high school. I was a guy that played football, basketball, baseball. If there was a ball to be played with, we played with it. But we would go swimming pool, and we would get out there on the driving range, how kids do, and they'd be in their swimsuits with no shirt on, and the pros out there trying to run you off.
Where was this?
Right, it's Pine Bluff Country Club and Rosswood Country Club.
Okay, yeah.
So, we would sneak in there and try to hit balls, and, there'd be guys that would work with us and stuff, and I thought it was amazing that a guy could hit a ball that far and generate that much torque and stuff. And I was always into baseball, and that was my idea of hitting a ball. And of course, I was a big slicer, big hooker, but I could hit the ball. And I tooled around a little bit in high school, and then when I got in college, is when I really started playing golf. I played college football at the University of Arkansas at Monticello, and it got to the point where we would go out there, and it basically is who could hit the ball the furthest. It wasn't anything about scoring. It was just chicks digging the long ball off the tee box, type stuff, and who took aerial photos of all when they was going over them. And so I was trying to be a gorilla instead of trying to be a golfer. But I fell in love with the game. It was something that I enjoyed to do, and I practiced it. And I got where I got decent at it.
Pine Bluff Country Club has their annual 4-ball, and I understand you've played in it for several years. Who's the partner you played with the most? And tell me some stories about that place, because that 4-ball is legendary around these parts.
Well, it is. It's probably one of the most fun 4-balls that I've ever played in. I've played in several, but there's not anything – I mean, you can't even – come up with the stuff that happens, but just trying to tee off the ball on certain greens during the competition. They have galleries out there, and guys are sitting in the carts, and they played in the first flight or second flight while you're playing, and they're hooting on you, and there's the camaraderie is unbelievable. And I play with Michael Hoy and Tad Thornton is really the two guys that I played with most. I played high school ball with Tad, and Michael Hoy's been a college friend of mine ever since our freshman days at UAM, and we've had some unbelievable stories. I mean, there's some that I can tell on the podcast, there's some I can't, but probably the most memorable is I hit a ball, I think on number 8 coming up
the par 5.
Par 5, and hit into the little tree bank over on the left, and my ball was in what I found out to be when I got ready to hit it right in the middle of a yellow jacket nest, and they swarmed me. And of course, it was one of those hot days, and they were up my shorts, they were in my shirt, and I was sweating, and you couldn't peel them off of yourself. And I told Michael about the whole 10 or 11. I said, I think I'm gonna have to stop. I don't believe I can play anymore. And I bet you I had 30 or 40 waft stings. and those Yellow Jackets wore me out, and that was probably the most memorable part of it. And then one year I got something in my eye, and I had ended up going to the emergency room and didn't finish that round, and Michael held on, and we ended up winning the match, and but I was able to play the next day. But I've had some memorable moments at the Pine Bluff 4-ball. It's the Rosswood 4-ball was a good one too, but my most memorable event probably is, without a doubt, has been the Pine Bluff 4-ball.
All the Yellow Jackets. How did you – I don't even understand. How did you compete after that? I'd probably be swollen so bad that I wouldn't be able to swing.
Well, where it wasn't hurting, it was swollen, and my hands started swelling up was the biggest problem. But, I don't know. I was younger, and I was a lot tougher than I am now, because if it was now, they'd probably carry me out in the ambulance. But it was, the game itself, you just want to compete, and it doesn't matter for me if it's horse racing, golfing, or football. I want to compete. I compete in everything I do every day, and it's the same thing in the weight loss. I want to compete. I want to be able to do whatever it takes to be the best I can be, whether it's in golf or like I said, horse racing or whatever it may be. Playing horse with my son in the backyard. I like competition. I like to be able to have the camaraderie that competition has. Those guys there were guys I went to high school with. Those are guys I went to college with, guys I grew up with. And, be able to go back and play in that, especially when you live in different communities, and come back and see everybody, it's a good thing. And it's something that I need to start doing again. I haven't done it in a long time, and because football, it's just tough to play football and have games and scrimmages and all that stuff, and then go play golf that weekend too. But it's a tremendous weekend. It's they put on the best party and the best show, and it's something that people don't get anymore, because the camaraderie is so good. The old Pine Bluff tradition and old Pine Bluff type ways were things that we sit back on, because it was a great place to grow up. It was a great place to be an athlete. It was a great place to hang out with guys. And Pine Bluff, I tell people all the time, was a tremendous place to grow up. And I tell people this too. Bryant is a lot like Pine Bluff was when I was in high school and growing up there. It's sort of the same kind of school, sort of same kind of community. And if you look, we're good in the same things that we were good in Pine Bluff. And, I think people give themselves an opportunity to be successful. And you've got to find the communities that are willing to make the sacrifice for kids to be successful.
Where do you play around here in Bryant? Do you play out at
I play at Hurricane and Long Hills.
Yeah.
We have our football golf tournament every year at Long Hills, and we play in that, and it's usually the coaches, and I tell you, coaches are, a lot of times great coaches, but not very good golfers. And I heard a story when I was a young kid: if you were a good coach, you weren't probably a good golfer. And so the guys that are good coaches are good golfers. There's a stigma to that. So our guys go out there and they have fun. Some of our coaches carry their fishing rods, and they fish, while everybody else is digging their balls out of the water or whatever. But those are two nice, really golf courses. I mean, they've really come a long ways with Long Hills since I've gotten here. It was a pasture, I think, again after I first came here, and they've done a tremendous job with it. And then Hurricane is as beautiful course as there is, and I enjoy playing both of them. I go out with some of our administrators sometimes and play golf out of Hurricane, and I just enjoy the game. We can just play 9 holes. Sometimes 18 holes is too much for me, because my game sort of transcends during the second half of the round. But I enjoy playing golf. I enjoy the camaraderie that golf brings, and I've played with some of my players, some of my ex-players, and some of the parents and administrators, and I enjoy doing that. And I try to do that, 4 or 5 times a year with them, and then I play in several different scrambles around the state.
Now, when you play with your players, do you compete with them? Do you try to just beat their brains in, if you will?
Well, I try to. The ones that I played with, they're like we were when I was growing up. They want to see how far they can hit the ball. I think that's the biggest curse for young people is when how far they drive it, and then they chip and putt the same way. But it gets into that. They want to out hit the coach. They want to outscore the coach, and I'm sort of steady and down the middle now kind of guy, and I still can hit the big ball when I want to, but it generally don't go where I want it to go. But what club I used to hit for 150 yards is 2 irons different now than it was when I was. I used to hit a 9-iron 150 yards, and now I'm hitting a 7 or 8 iron to the 150 yards. So it's changed a lot, and it's a game that I really respect. It's a game that will humble you. It's a game that teaches you a lot of life lessons. I look at it, Michael Jordan's probably one of the greatest athletes of my time, and, he struggles at trying to be great at golf, and, he's a fabulous athlete. And, we say that word a lot when we're on the golf course because, most of the guys I play with are fabulous athletes, at one time or another in their life. And, they've boiled down to, not being able to be a very good golfer. And we have fun and we laugh at each other and we still tell great stories, and it's a great time to have great camaraderie.
Best golf course Buck James has ever played?
Oh, I've been to some good ones. I played, and I've been to, and I'm really struggling on this, but they played some LPGA events there. It's in South Carolina, in something like Black Hills or Blackfoot or something like that. And that's where they carried the clubs for you. And I played that course before, and it was you had your own caddy, and it was unbelievable. Every time you hit the ball, you felt like you made a great shot, no matter if it was in the rough or not. I mean, it was manicured to the tee. Chenal Country Club is probably one of the better golf courses I've played. I mean, it's really nice. But I've played a couple courses over my career where, I could not believe that they manicured them to that level, that the grass was at that level, the greens were that fast. I can't sit here and tell you off the top of my head the name of those courses, but I've gotten the chance, and I've been blessed to be able to play some really nice golf courses. I just can't sit here and tell you the names of them,
right?
Because we were on vacation, and I was playing with some buddies of mine, and I just showed up and played.
Fantasy foursome, you and 3 others, living or deceased, golfers, non-golfers, when I say non-golfers, I mean not professionals, someone that you just might say, hey, if I could have one more round, that's who I want to play with.
Wow, that's a big question. I'm a John Daly fan. I'll be honest with you. I know he's a professional golfer, but, I think he approaches golf like I like to approach golf. He wants to have a good time playing golf. And, Austin Ledbetter, who played quarterback here, is, good friends with his son, and he was on the sideline in our state championship game. And he's playing golf up there while Austin's playing baseball at Arkansas. And, I've heard a lot of John Daly stories, especially coming from Austin and his buddies and stuff. But I think he plays it the way that I would like to go play it now. I want to have a good time. I want to enjoy it. I think meeting people on the golf course is a great way to know them. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. I mean, I think
But you get Daly and Jordan together.
Yeah, that would be heck.
That would be good.
That would be heck. And Charles Barkley. I think he's my kind of golfer as well. So I just would like to meet interesting people. Yeah, I think you get to know a guy. Sort of like deer camp. You don't get to know a guy until you go to deer camp. And I think golf is the same way. It's a 4-hour opportunity to be able to bond and develop relationships and have a good time. And you get to see people at their best and their worst. I like to see how people react to bad shots. And, a lot of times guys get out there and they think the game should have been easy for them and they don't ever practice or do anything. And, I like to, if I make a bad shot, it's just as good as I make a great shot. And I just enjoy the game. I enjoy the 4 hours of camaraderie, the 4 hours of competing, having fun and joking with guys. But I would like to play with a group of guys that are fun, don't take life too seriously, You look at it as a chance to get away and enjoy each other. And if it's a famous person, that would be great. But I like playing with the average Joe and getting to know what he's about a little bit. One of my best friends that I used to play a lot of golf with was a body shop owner, and he had about 15 woods in his bag, and we had more fun with that guy than you could ever imagine. I mean, he had a 1 through 15 wood, and
wow.
He had a wood for every hole that he played, or every tee shot he had, or every yardage. And golf is for a lot of different.
Don't let
people.
him show up at the Pine Bluff 4-ball.
Actually, he played in it sometimes, and he was a guy that loved golf. And I tell you, everybody loved to play with him. His name was Jerry McGough, and he might be one of the most fun guys to play golf with I've ever been around. But he was a fabulous athlete. He owned a body shop, and he's a guy that plays golf that you would think that owned a body shop.
Oh wow!
So it was a lot of fun.
You were talking about your fantasy foursome. If you had John Daly, Michael Jordan, and Charles Barkley, and yourself, Michael Jordan's always said Charles loves to gamble, and he loves to gamble at golf, but he's no good at golf. So he can take him out there and just wear him out. I think that would be hilarious.
Well, that would be. I like to gamble playing golf. I just don't like to pay up. So I get the gambling part of it, and nobody, what is it? Fuzzy Zeller said that, you don't know pressure till you have a $6 Nassau for, 2 or 3 foot putt, and then you don't have any money in your pocket.
Exactly.
And, I like to gamble playing golf. I mean, usually we don't, go very big or anything like that, but it makes it competitive. It makes people keep up, and it makes it fun for everybody. And, that's what it's all about is, you might lose $6 for a whole night, the whole day of golf. And, everybody talks about every shot, when they had the shot. And it's like a guy that went deer hunting. He's telling you the whole story all over again, even though you witnessed it. And that's what golf is about. I think it's probably the game that's left out there where men can be men and boys can be boys, and they can, men can act like boys and boys can act like men. And I think it's something that gives guys something that they can do that they can enjoy doing together.
Buck, thanks so much for the time. Continued success here, and maybe 6 next year. You got to get another hand to put the rings on.
That'd be great. I said it last year. I said you can't win 5 unless you win 4. I didn't say that this year because I think the bullseye was on our back the entire season, and I don't think it's because I said that. It's just because we'd won 4 in a row. But it's a tremendous feat, and it's sinking in, but. This is what it's all about, and not many people get the chance to experience this, but I feel blessed that I've had the opportunity to be able to do this. I knew this could be a special job. I told them when they hired me this could be like Hoover, Alabama, and I think they laughed at me when I said that, but I said this could be Hoover, Alabama, right here at Bryant High School, and
they're not laughing now.
They're not laughing now, and it's I even had guys who laughed at me when I took the job. They didn't think that this was the job that I could take and can do something with. And I had buddies of mine that laughed at me, and this has been a tremendous run. And I'm blessed. I have great coaches. I have great players. And like I said, I have great administration and community. And this is what makes it fun. It's sort of like a great 4-hour golf game.
Thanks, Buck.
Thank you.
Traveling to Fayetteville to watch a game? Forgot to book a room for the night? Beechwood Pinnacle Hotel Group has you covered. Stay where the fans stay. Staybridge Suites is just south of Baum-Walker Stadium and is an all-suite hotel within walking distance of Baum-Walker, Bud Walton, and Razorback Stadium. Or you could stay at the Comfort Inn and Suites with newly remodeled rooms throughout the entire property. Find them on the web at bphotels.com. Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels.
This is Thomas Blackman with Blackman Auctions. The economy is changing slowly but surely. The market is slowing down in a gradual slide. Not an emergency yet, the sky is not falling, but a change is coming. When times are good, auctions make buyers compete to buy at the highest market value. When the economy gets tough, auctions force buyers to make a purchase decision. Either way, auctions get the highest return for a seller and a strong deal for a buyer. With an experienced auction company, it's a simple process. Go to blackmanauctions.com for more information. Since 1938, better auctions are Blackman Auctions.
That'll do it for this edition of From the Shortgrass. Want to thank Buck James for sitting down with me. Also want to thank one of our great sponsors, Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels. Find them on the web, bphotels.com. They know how to manage hotel properties. They've got great hotels for you to stay in when you need a place to stay. Remember, when you find your ball mark on the green, fix it and a couple of more. And I hope to see you sometime soon from the Shortgrass.
You've been listening to From the Shortgrass, a weekly podcast dedicated to the game of golf. This has been a presentation of the Buzz Radio Network.